here we go. Ball 1 here. This is the first ever time that Channel 8 has broadcast at the Coventry Oval, and this is the first ball we're going to see at the Coventry Oval here, coming in at the Diamond Creek end. And it's a full toss and it's an edge, but fielded there at the backward point for a single. Very well run there. It's very surprising. Okay, so the batsman, very nice start there for Diamond Creek. Comes into bowl, and it's full and it's on leg stump, and they're going to steal another single, and the umpire calls off the bat. So another run. Very nice start for Diamond Creek. 2 singles. This bowler is trying to bowl a big left arm outswinger, which is an in-swinger for the right-hander. If he can get this line right on off stump, it might be a deadly ball. Comes into bowl and left alone. So we're starting off at the Diamond Creek trail end. We'll have to see whether there is a difference between the two ends to see which one is better. Alright, he comes into bowl. And oh, wow! I said that the perfect line for this bowler would be about off stump, which would allow the in-swinger to go into middle stump, and it seems that that's exactly the ball that just happened. The ball was about at off stump, maybe a little bit towards off and middle, and then the batsman tried to play a leg glancy sort of shot, and it just went through the gate and clean bowled, which means Riverside have gotten off to an amazing start. Like, we're in the first over here, and there's already been the first wicket. Incredible stuff, and yeah, just excellent swing bowling there. Just he clearly had it was clearly the plan. He has a very exaggerated back action. This bowler, and so obviously he's trying to bowl as fast as possible and swing it as much as possible. And so when he gets it right, he's going to be deadly, and when he doesn't, it's going to be those full tosses that we saw ball 1. Okay, the new batsman. Everything is happening already in the first over. Comes into bowl, and oh, bit of a bat pad situation there, but it was blocked to the covers for a dot ball. So the field, first slip, second slip, gully, point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, square leg, and then fine leg is mostly on the fence. So a very orthodox field to start us off. Alright, comes into bowl, and defended off the back foot, fielded there in the covers. End of the over, a very successful start there for Riverside. The score is 1 for 2. So this is the second over, this one coming from the Elizabeth end. Okay, so let's see what this guy has in store for us. Comes in for his first ball, comes in a bowl. Whoa, very tall. And not only is he a tall guy, but he really takes advantage of his height by stretching his bowling arm as high as he can, and he tries to bowl it when he's at the crease as high as possible. Doesn't bend his knees. Try maximise his height. Comes in for his second ball, and left alone outside the off stump. For this bowler, we have the exact same field, except fine leg is in. Instead, it's a short fine leg at about 45 degrees. Still 2 slips, a gully, point, cover, Mid-off, mid-on, yep, square leg. Comes into bowl, and it's a half volley, and it's driven, and it's fielded there by point for a dot ball. So, the dimensions of this ground at Coventry are going to be very different to what we are used to at Mangrook across the road. How this will affect the game, we'll just have to find out. Comes into bowl, and left alone outside the off stump. That ball's skidding along the surface, and the keeper having to bend his knees in order to actually get it. Comes into bowl. Oh, playing a miss. That ball was a little bit shorter than a half volley, and the batsman did not try to keep his stance open enough in order to get the ball on the half volley. Instead, he just had a big swish at it, as if it were a half volley. Bowls it, and it's very full, and it's driven back to the bowler for a dot ball. It's a maiden. So, it's 1 for 2. So, in the one-day games that we saw at Mangrook, they were not the highest scoring at about 3.5 runs per over. Comes into bowl, and it's driven straight to cover for a dot ball. And so the question would be, Diamond Creek's #1 oval here at Coventry, is it going to be any faster or slower or any different than what we saw at Mangrook? We'll just have to see. It is a better maintained ground, of course, because it's Diamond Creek's #1. Comes into bowl, and it's defended off the front foot, pushed again into the covers, fielded for a dot ball. Of course, this is Coventry Oval. It's a wonderful, wonderful ground. It's probably one of the best grounds you can find at the Diamond Valley area. Comes into bowl, and it's a full toss, and it is an edge, and it goes straight to point for a dot ball. Coventry Oval is not far away. In fact, the road that we just see across us, not Elizabeth Street, but over in the over on the angle, is the main street of Diamond Creek. Comes into bowl, and it's defended off the back foot for a dot ball. So this oval, this road here that we can see, is the main road of Diamond Creek, which is where all the strip malls are, where the shopping is, the supermarkets are, where all the businesses and the police station, the fire station, and the hardware store and the schools. Comes into bowl, and it's off the hip, tries to go for the glance, it hits his pad, and it gets caught by the keeper. No real appeal. So, yeah, so Coventry Oval is so amazing because it's right there at the heart of Diamond Creek, where it's within a 10-minute walk. You can go pretty much anywhere you want. It's very, very intimate, very, very special. And it's driven off the front foot straight to cover for another dot ball. It's another maiden. It is still 1 for 2. Comes into bowl, and left alone outside the off stump. Very well left. He watched the ball very carefully, and then once he noticed that the ball was leaving, it seemed to seam off the pitch, and as it left to the right hand, he knew that it was not going to hit the stumps. He was keeping a very close eye on where his off stump was, knew it was safe to leave. Comes into bowl, and tries to advance at the bowler to try to upset his length, and tries to leg glance it onto the leg side, but fails, and it hits him in the torso for a dot ball. So on the one hand, when he decides to leave it comfortably, and other times, so as if he's in control of the game, and then other times he looks unsure of what to do, so that's when he's trying to manufacture something. Alright, he comes in the bowl, And again he advances, and it's looks like a bit of an inside edge onto the pad, and it dribbled out to where silly point would be for a dot ball. Comes into bowl. And oh, it's a wide, and it's a wide. It was short, wide. The batsman tried to play the cut shot, but seemed to fail to reach it, and also misjudged the length, and so he would have toe-ended if he had have made contact. Alright, comes into bowl, and it's a drive, and it beats the gap, and so the cover fielder has to run around and chase it down. And they're going to get free. Well, wonderfully run there. Bit of an expansive drive. His bottom hand played a predominant role in that, which had a bit of a scoopy look to it. But it went through the gap. So we got 3 runs from that. Comes into bowl. Left alone. And now the sun is coming out much more, and it's getting very bright. It's getting into the sunglasses wearing sort of weather. There's 1 ball left in the over, and they've moved the field from fine leg into a short cover. So now there's a short cover and a general cover. Comes into bowl, and whoa, playing a miss. The ball moved, and it just missed the outside edge. End of the over. It's 1 for 6. Okay, so we're about to begin the 5th over. Okay. Comes into bowl. And it's a huge full toss, and it's a wide. It looked like an under edge there, but the umpire saying no. So this is the big risk for this bowler. On the one hand, he has such a exaggerated bowling action. He could bowl real fast, and his in-swing is to the right hand. It could be really dangerous. Comes into bowl. Oh, and it's a no ball. So when he gets it right, it's just going to be deadly stuff. But when he doesn't get it right, it's going to look rather embarrassing, like those full tosses that are about thigh height outside the right-hander. Comes into bowl. No, bails out. So there's still a gentle breeze coming across the ground, nothing major. Alright, he comes into bowl. And it's down the leg side, and it's glanced. And are they going to go for a second? No, they don't. Fine leg. Throws it in. So 1 run there. Very alert was the batsman to when, as soon as the ball pitched at about leg stump, he knew he got into position to leg glance it, and then it was a safe single there because fine leg is almost completely on the fence. Alright, now the number 3 batsman on strike comes into bowl, and it's driven. And it's a misfield, and they've decided not to take a run. No run on that misfield. So that was a 50-50. Like that could have been really embarrassing if you went for a run off that misfield and got run out. But it was 5 meters away from the fielder, so you could have technically gone for it and gotten safe. All right, comes into bowl and left alone very well off outside the off stump. Okay. Comes into bowl. And well defended off the front foot. Straight to cover for another dot ball. Oh, bad throw. And the fielder at fine leg is there. So with a 40 over game, you'd expect the first 10 overs to be the most difficult to score. You might, yeah, Fixture scores 2 runs an over, and you pick it up afterwards. And he comes in the bowl, and oh, well. Wow. So it was short of a length. It was outside, outside the off stump, maybe off stump. He tried to play the leg glance. There was some sort of noise, either pad or bat, and then it was caught by the keeper playing a leg glance to a ball that's going across the right-hander, short of a length. Comes in the bowl, and leg glanced comfortably, and fine leg comes in and picks it up. So, an eventful over there. 4 runs off it. It is 1 for 10. Okay, so this is the 6th over now. The 3rd over from the Elizabeth end. Comes in the bowl. And well defended off the front foot. And they have stuck to the field that they had at the end of last over, which is why there's no front leg, there's no fielder behind square on the leg side, and there's 2 covers, a short cover and then a deep-ish orthodox cover. Comes into bowl and left alone comfortably outside the off stump. Again, the ball just skidding off the surface and bouncing not as much as you would expect. So much like other carpet pitches, if you get the angle low enough, the ball just kisses the turf and it doesn't bounce as much as you're expecting. Alright, comes into bowl and left alone outside the off stump, and the batsman seemingly frustrated at the ball, sends a wild, useless swish at the ball way after it's past the bat. The Riverside chatter is very electric. They are obviously very comfortable and confident about their situation. Comes into bowl. Oh, and it's a well fielded there. So it was too close to the bat to actually cut it, and he ended up playing a very awkward-looking, squirty late cut, and the fielder at gully or 4th slip, depending on your interpretation, saved it through a diving catch for a dot ball. Comes into bowl, left alone. So obviously this number 3 batsman is being a bit frustrated because he tries to playing at the ball even though the ball isn't actually there for that shot, and he's just trying to make something happen for himself. Comes into bowl, left alone, and it's a wide. Stricter rules are in place for the one-day games. I think that would have been a fair delivery in a 2-day game. My general rule of thumb is that in a 2-day game you should always just give the bowler the benefit of the doubt, just allow dot balls to happen, because in a 2-day game it's about wickets and runs, not about run rates. But in a 1-day game it's much different. Comes into bowl and well defended there, but the ball popped up and bounced up a bit higher than what it would have been expected. Anyway, that's 1 run off the over. It's 1 for 11. Okay, so we've got the next over here at the Diamond Creek Trail end. Comes into bowl. Ooh, well bowled. That's the sort of ball that you like to see from this right-hander. It was full. It was at about middle stump. The batsman played a forward block, pushy sort of shot, and it's inside edged into the mid-wicket region, and the bowler collected it. Comes into bowl. And well defended off the sort of on the front foot. Okay. Comes into bowl. Oh, playing a miss. Playing a miss. This ball did not swing. Instead, it went across the right-hander, so it pitched about a little bit outside the off stump, and it continued to go outside the off stump further and further away, and he tried to play a cover drive, and he missed. Comes into bowl. And another ball to cover drive. This time he makes contact. This time it bursts through the field. And they're going to get two. Are they going to go for the third? Are they going to go for the third? Yes, they do. Very well run there. That was, obviously, it's a risky shot. It's a risky shot to try to cover drive this early in innings, but he went for it and he was rewarded. Comes into bowl, and well defended off the front foot. So, the run rate is about 2 runs and over, which I think you should be very happy with. The first 10 overs in a one-day game are the most difficult. You score at about 2 runs and over. Comes into bowl, and it's another ball to drive, and a wicket. Well, a low catch by the cover fielder has taken another wicket here. It's 14 for 2 now, and that's the end of the over. So the number 3 batsman has to walk off. So very well done there. End of the over. So, new over, new batsman. The bowler continuing to bowl from the Elizabeth end. Comes into bowl, and it's an aggressive charge, and he tries to leg glance it, and it goes to the fielder at mid-on for a dot ball. So this bowler is the tighter bowler. He's not bowling any loose balls, and the batsmen are trying to make something out of it, something that's scoreable. Comes into bowl, and left alone outside the off stump. Again, the ball skidding on. So the Riverside chatter is increasing. They look very happy with their work so far. This is the 8th over. So we've had 7 overs, and they're going at 2 runs and over. Comes into bowl, and left alone outside the off stump. That one bouncing a bit more. That one a bit shorter of a length. And that one a bit wider. They've decided to stick with the extra fielder at a short cover, and still there is no one behind square on the leg side. Very aggressive and very confident field settings there for Riverside. Comes into bowl. An aggressive charge down the wicket. Again, tries to play it onto the leg side, but the ball is just too full, too far to the offside, and in the end he just pushes it meekly back to the bowler. Comes into bowl, and left alone. That one came back in towards the right-hander, and he was confident enough on his off stump to leave it alone. Comes into bowl, and it's a leg glance, and it goes through the mid-wicket region, and they're going to get 1, and they just get 1. So, end of the over. It's 15 for 2. Okay. So, comes into bowl, and left alone. The bowler is continuing to bowl his spell from the Diamond Creek Trail end, which means he'll have bowled 5 overs. Okay. Comes in the bowl. And woo, driven confidently as a cover drive, and it beats the fielder at mid-off, and the fielder at cover has to run around, and they get the 1 run. And the sun is continuing to come in and out, behind and in front of the clouds, and it's constantly changing the layout of the ground from being very sunny to being very mild. Alright, comes into bowl and left alone. Well, that was a bit of a ball. It was just about hit. It was a very full ball. It hit about the popping crease, and it was moving away, and it was just about at that wide mark, but the umpire decided to leave it go. Comes into bowl, and that one is a bit short, and he tries to play it off the thigh towards that gap at mid-wicket, but he's unable to get enough bat on it. So, and the bowler very aggressively, passionately running around. The bowler seems to be really on his game today. He's trying to field off his own bowling very well to try to keep the scoring down. It seems like Riverside have definitely come here to play. Alright, comes into bowl. And tries to again play it gently off the back foot, but again unable to get his direction right, and so it's a dot ball fielder there in the covers. So far I am seeing 3 people or 4 people around the ground watching this game, so we've got a very small crowd today. Comes into bowl. Oh, it's a leg glance through the gap at mid-wicket, and the fielder has to really chase it down to the goalposts. They're going to get 2, they're going to get 3 on the arm. Yes, they do. Very well run there. Excellent running, excellent shot. Wonderful leg glance. It's 19 for 2. So we've got a change of bowling at the Elizabeth end. Who have we got? We've got someone, looks like a left arm bowler. Okay, so let's... Alright, let's see what this guy has got. Comes in for his first ball. Oh, and he goes for the quick single, and they'll make it. Well run there. Now, the batsman was trying to do that sort of shot in the previous over, but he just couldn't get his timing right, and that timing was just perfect. He got into position behind the ball very quickly, he popped it down, and he was able to call his partner through for a quick single. Comes into bowl, and well defended off at the back foot, the ball not bouncing as much, and it hitting the batsman lowish on the bat. For this new bowler, they have decided to bring back the fine leg in at about, he's a bit square for a fine leg, but he's certainly not a square leg. Comes into bowl, and it's down the leg side, and tries to play the hip glance and fails, and dot ball there. The batsman, the bowler is trying to generate as much pace as he can off a very short run-up and a very strong arms and shoulders in order to get the ball through rather than pace through running. And his run-up comes into bowl and defended. Back to the bowler for a dot ball. This is the 10th over. So, Diamond Creek are scoring at about 2 runs and over, but the problem is that they've lost 2 wickets. Comes into bowl, and it's cover driven, and it's through the gap between point and cover, and the fielder has to chase it down, and they've run 2, they're going to go for 3rd on the arm? No, they do not. Well run there, good shot. As soon as the ball reaches that half volley length, it seems that they are able to cover drive it well, and they've scored a few runs through that shot so far in this innings. Comes into bowl. Oh, blown a miss. End of the over. It's 22 for 2. Alright, so the bowler is going to be continuing his opening spell from the Diamond Creek trail end. He comes into bowl and it's cover driven, straight to mid off for a dot ball. The Riverside cover fielders seem to have stepped back 2 or 3 metres. Comes into bowl and left alone outside the off stump. That looked like it could have been cover driven. It was about that half volley length, but the batsman decided to leave it alone. Riverside are continuing to have 2 slips and a gully, and those are their attacking fielders. Comes into bowl. Oh, it's an edge, but it falls short, and the 2 slip fielders make a dive to try to save it, and they between them they do. So no runs conceded there. So comes into bowl, and it's pushy block shot for a dot ball. Trying to work furiously at the ball. Comes into bowl, and again blocked. This time to mid off for a dot ball. There's been 2 maidens so far from the 10 overs. This could be a 3rd maiden if this ball is a dot ball. Comes into bowl, and it's a leg glance, and it gets into that gap at mid wicket, and they get a run. They've stolen another run, have Diamond Creek. They should be quite happy with some of their work that they've been doing. It's 23 for 2. So, the first change bowler is to continue to bowl at the Elizabeth end. Comes into bowl, and left alone. We're into the 12th over. So we've had 11 overs, and Diamond Creek are 23 for 2. Each over has had at least a few runs here and there. Comes into bowl. Oh, it's driven, and it beats the fielder at mid-on, and it was a bit of a gate bridge there, Sydney Harbour Bridge there situation, and they get 2. They might have thought about getting a 3rd, but wow. The fielder at mid-off, after making a bit of a bad dive, then recovered his situation by chasing down the ball very quickly. Okay. Comes into bowl. Left alone. And now it's becoming more overcast than it was about half an hour ago. The ominous clouds are starting to appear above us rather than on the horizon. Comes into bowl. Left alone outside the off stump. There's a couple of cars parked around the ground. I'm not sure if they're watching the game or they've gone over to somewhere else, but they are parked here at Coventry Oval. Comes into bowl, And it's attempted to play another chippy glance shot into the gap for a quick single, but he can't get it right, and it's a dot ball. So, they've brought in a mid-wicket now. So if you can really put it down at your feet, you should be able to get a run. Comes into bowl. And it's driven very well, straight back to the bowler for a dot ball. So just the 2 runs are off it. It's 25 for 2.